UFC title challenger, Jessica Panay. All right, who's ready for the main event? Make some noise! Now let's welcome to the cage, Jonathan Gary.
Well, you know it's a pro Rosa crowd when the opponent is getting the heel treatment from the fans. You hear boos coming down for Jonathan Gary as he's about to make his way to the cage. Fighting out of Indiana, originally from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. 28 pro fights under his belt.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we don't put too much focus on the records. He's 13-13-2. That kind of experience plays a factor no matter what the record is.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, he's fought a lot of tough competition. 30 fights, you got 30 fights under your belt. I mean, you're going to be pretty comfortable in the cage regardless of who you're fighting.
Fighting at 155 tonight, much like Charles Rosa, he has fought as low as 145, so it kind of fluctuated between those two different weight classes. So both fighters comfortable with where this is at. And
for him, knowing that Charles is a submission specialist, and that's kind of been his Achilles heel, he's lost a lot of fights by submission. He's got to know that. I'm sure he's worked that in his camp. And if I was to guess, I'm going to say he's going to try to keep this fight on the feet and try to avoid the ground at all costs.
Well, that's the thing. Even in a losing effort, he's a guy that gives you everything, and he's going to go the distance. He's going to give you the rounds. If you're going to beat him, you're going to have to really work for it. And that's the kind of reputation that Jonathan Gary has in MMA. It's a fighter who, he's a U.S. Navy veteran. He served as a damage controlman aboard a U.S. naval guided missile destroyer in Japan. And that's where he got to start as a pro. So he's battle-tested, literally and figuratively. Nothing can phase him.
Seen it all.
Welcoming to the cage his opponent, Charles Rosa.
And you hear that crowd, Greg. They are here for Charles Rosa. They've been waiting all night to see Boston strong Charles Rosa, who is living out a dream of following in family footsteps. His uncle, Tom Rosa, competed here in tough man competitions more than 2 decades ago.
Does not shock me, yeah.
Right, and so now the Rosa family tradition at Foxwoods continues as Charles makes his first, and I'm surprised that this was his first appearance here. I for sure thought he would have fought here in the past. When you think about it, he had that long run with the UFC.
Long run with CES at Twin River a bunch of times.
Right, so, you know, fighting in different venues, just never having the opportunity to step inside the cage here. So he gets that chance. And of course, we mentioned 5-0 lifetime with CS. Like many fighters before him, traveled that pipeline from CES to UFC. You know, it's a proven path.
He went 5-8 in the UFC, but listen, the guy's never been finished. He lost 8 decisions. A lot of them were split decisions. He's been in there with the likes of Yair Rodriguez, some of the best guys in the world. He had a great career in the UFC.
Now, let's be honest, a lot of guys don't get the opportunity to have 13 UFC fights, so they don't usually get that far before they're released or, you know, sent in a different direction. So Charles Rosa clearly through the years in UFC showed something to keep getting those opportunities.
No, absolutely.
When he was in Boston, he was a great ambassador in the Northeast and did some wonderful things. And
definitely a company guy, man. The UFC definitely loved him.
Charles Rosa making his way inside that cage. Nice 13-fight run with UFC, like we said. Not a lot of guys get those chances.
First fight. The thing with Charles too is he's a gamer, man. You're gonna see he looks like an angry man. You know, he loves the fight, man. This kid, and he's a competitor. As you can see it in his intensity, he's always like that before the fights. I love it.
There is your tail of the tape for our main event. Both fighters coming in at the weight limit and under the weight limit of 155. No significant height or reach advantages on either side. Very evenly matched fight on paper. Jonathan Gary 38, Rosa 37. The number of fights almost identical. It should be a very well-contested bout. Two sturdy, dangerous, savvy veterans. It's going to be a good one.
Gary a little shorter. Charles doesn't have the reach advantage.
And we mentioned tragedy in the Rosa family many years ago. From a family of 6 is Charles. His 2 older brothers, Dominic and Vincent, died of drug overdoses when he was a teenager. Really toughened him up through the years and taught him a lot of life lessons.
If you ever get a chance to talk to Charles Rosa's dad, he's one of my favorite people. I talked to him today outside. He wakes up every day, Seabrook, New Hampshire, and swims in the ocean. It doesn't matter if it's 80 degrees out or 8 degrees out.
Ladies and
Special
gentlemen,
guy.
This is the main event of the evening. A 3-round battle in the lightweight division. Live from the Great Cedar Showroom in Foxwoods Resort Casino. Let's Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, 13 professional victories with 13 losses and 2 draws, 7 by way of knockout. He weighed in at 154 pounds. Fighting out of Indianapolis, Indiana, Jonathan Junkyard Dog Gary. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 14 wins, 8 losses, 11 finishes, a 13-fight UFC veteran. He weighed in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Peabody, Mass, Charles Boston Strong Rosa.
We're about to get ready for our main event. Charles Rosa in the navy blue trunks, Jonathan Gary in the light blue, Michael Parenti joined by Greg Rebello from cage side at Foxwoods Resort Casino for CS75. We thank you for joining us throughout the night here on Facebook Live. It's been a great show for a great cause, the Joanne Sullivan Memorial Fund. So we continue to raise awareness during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And here we go, round number 1. This one's scheduled for 3.
Couple of southpaws.
Yeah.
Like it. But Charles switches stances a lot, so. Charles definitely is kick heavy a lot of side kicks, a lot of front kicks, a lot of low kicks. As he's going back and forth, he likes that sideways stance. Seems like he boxes as a righty, and then when he goes lefty, he kind of turns like a karate style. So he likes the side kick and the front kick from here.
That's a tough style to adjust to for Gary. You just don't know what angle he's coming from.
Throwing that left low kick.
Yeah, Rosa's got a lot of
right to the calf.
wins against notable regional rivals, Manny Bermudez, Sean Soriano, Kyle Bosniak. Beat all of them in the UFC.
Yep. Those are all guys that, ruled the local level for a long time.
And Rosa really, in those years, established himself as a cut above.
Charles, he was always so good off his back, so when guys took him down, he submitted so many guys off his back in CES early on. And you don't see that very often.
No. It's usually a rarity. Some guys, even the guys that can do it well, don't do it that often.
No, yeah, absolutely. Charles is doing a great job of switching stances. He's keeping Gary moving backwards, and he's landing that calf kick. But it's tough because Gary, when he switches to the righty, then when he goes lefty, he can't really see that calf kick coming. But as soon as Charles goes lefty, he's got to recognize that he's throwing that. There it is again. Same switch back to a righty. Pumping a jab. He's going to start boxing. He'll land a combo, switch to a lefty, and shoot that calf kick. There it is again.
As we mentioned, it's been 15 months since Rosa last fought for Gary. It's been a long time since his last victory. That was in 2017. He did win a boxing match in September, so we'll see if he has a chance to show us some of that striking in this fight.
No stranger to competition. Ooh, landed the last couple.
Sure.
See, this is what Gary's going to do. Off that clinch, he's going to start throwing. He's going to get a little bit of respect. He can't keep moving backwards like this because Rosa's going to keep landing that kick.
A couple of nice right hands by Gary. He's certainly not afraid to let his hands go.
No, absolutely not. Both guys winging him.
Gary was supposed to be part of the CS team in 2020, April to be exact. We all know what happened to that card. One of many worldwide that were canceled due to COVID-19 and delayed his opportunity to come back to the CS cage. And he previously fought for CS in 2018 against Sean Soriano. So a lot of common opponents here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Charles going to look to land that calf kick. There it is again. He's throwing a lot of overhands.
Yeah, here comes Rosa now.
Very aggressive. I like it. Lands a takedown, passes right to side control. Looks like Gary gave up his back. You're going to see Rosa jump right on that.
A lot of time here to go in round 1. 2 minutes to be exact. And we'll see what Rosa can do.
He's looking to get that right. It looked like he was trying to get that right hook in. Or he's trying to trap his right arm. Try to figure 4 him. See how he has this Gary's right arm trap?
Yes.
In a figure 4? And he also has his left arm locked up as his left arm. He could look for an armbar here with his legs. I can't really see the angle from this side.
Tough spot for Gary. What does he have to do to get out of this?
Well, from here, his right arm is completely trapped. So he's got to find a way to try to turn back into him. Beautiful transition for Charles. He goes right to the back. Nice by Gary. Scrambles and gets on top.
So Gary scrambles out. Nice
but
job.
But again, Rosas doesn't mind this. He's very comfortable here.
Well, like you said, we've seen so many submissions from this position.
Great arm bars, great triangles from here. And he's going to look to set one up right now. See him trying to stuff the arm back. He's going to try to go for a triangle.
And you wonder if it's a case of the opponent getting a little overly excited when he's in this spot, and that's where mistakes are made.
Absolutely.
And a veteran, a savvy veteran like Rosa,
kicks him off, beautiful.
Will take advantage as he kicks off Gary and gets back to his feet.
But good job by Gary there, surviving that bad position, got on top. Charles staying busy in the clinch, knees up the middle.
1 minute to go here in round one. Nice takedown again by Rosa.
Passes right to side control. And Gary keeps giving up his back. That's dangerous against a guy like Charles Rosa. He's looking for the same thing. Look at him trying to figure for that right arm of Gary's. Now he's going to take the back. Puts his right hook in. He's going to look to tournament. Yep.
So smooth is Charles Rosa.
Yes, sir.
It's hard to see if he has it locked in here.
Looking for the rear naked choke.
Not quite, no.
Gary's doing a great job of scrambling.
Yeah, that's twice now. Yeah. He's scrambled out of danger.
Choke. But this is the thing with Rosa. The more you scramble, he's just going to keep going, and he's going to keep finding submissions.
What a great transition.
The arm, yep.
10 seconds. Can Gary hang on?
This is very tight, but Gary seems like, he's all right.
Yeah, he's scrambling out again. Bell sounds for round number one, so great job by Charles Rosa. Also, you saw some of the defense by Jonathan Gary to evade
30
danger.
fights. I'm pretty sure he's been in this position before.
Right.
You know?
And that's part of the battle, is being able to escape some of those early submission attempts, and that can certainly play a factor mentally on the opponent.
Absolutely.
If he throws his best at you and is not able to get you out of there, then it could sort of swing in your favor. But a fighter like Rosa typically does not let that happen to him. Jonathan Gary, of course, like Rosa, been through many situations. But a great round. I thought both fighters did some nice things there.
Yeah, absolutely. Rosa does a great job of switching stances with the strikes. Like I said, as a righty, he's boxing, he's throwing big punches. As soon as Gary goes backwards, he switches to a lefty, throws that calf kick. Look like he started to hurt him a little bit towards the towards the middle of that round.
It was interesting to see Gary evade that danger. He's lost 7 fights by submission.
Like we talked about when he walked out, though. Had to have known that with Charles Rosa.
Right.
He's obviously done his homework. And it shows. How many times have we seen Rosa win by submission in the first round?
A staggering amount of times, for sure. Once again, Rosa making his first appearance with CS since 2014. It's been almost a decade. And he still brings the crowd everywhere he goes.
Yeah,
round number 2 about to get underway. Once again, Michael Parenti joined by Greg Rebello. You're watching us live on Facebook. Nice right hand there by Gary. We mentioned Gary's boxing pedigree. Had a unanimous decision to win in September.
Gary coming out swinging. A little sense of urgency there. Definitely knows that he probably lost round 1. So he's got to pick up the pace here. Got to try to even this fight up. Got to get a little bit of respect.
And this may be where he's at his best. This may be the best spot for him. Certainly not on the ground.
Ooh, hook kick. But you saw Gary. He noticed that low calf kick again and slid back a little bit just out of the way. I think he's starting to recognize that. Doesn't want to take too many of those.
Good sprawl there by Rosa. Not letting Gary get a takedown. And now he sinks this one in nice.
Yeah, this is tight.
So great transition by Rosa, and he's going to get the submission victory.
Arm and guillotine. Slipped right out to the side, stuck that knee in. That's a tight, tight choke.
What a transition from defending the takedown, sprawling, and then locking in that guillotine. It's just something in the mind.
And also, I don't even think Gary was shooting a takedown. He threw an inside leg kick. So from that stance, it looked like Gary kind of buckled. And when he went down, he went right for the front headlock and snapped him down. I don't necessarily think that Gary was going for a takedown. It happened so fast. But Rosa from the lefty stance throws that inside kick. Yeah. Gary's leg pops right out, and he, when his head lowers, he went right for the front headlock and a snap down. Soon as he gets that snap down, Charles made no mistake, got the arm and guillotine, slid over to the side, popped that knee in, and sat back. Beautiful stuff.
Greg, as you know, the ability to make that transition and make that move so quickly in your mind is what separates Rosa from a lot of other fighters.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why he's got 13 fights in the UFC.
It's just no hesitation. He sees the opening, he takes it, and he locks it in. And, he had a couple of close calls early in round 1. Gary did a nice job slipping out. This time he was not going to let him escape. And it's a triumphant return to CS for Charles Rosa.
Absolutely. Great homecoming.
And for Rosa, that's win number 15. Not a lot of fighters get that far in their careers, and 37 years of age still appears to have a lot in the tank, too.
Yeah.
We've seen different stages of fighters in their late 30s. Some look like they've been through a lot more than others, and some still look fresh. And I think Rosa still looks like he's got a lot left.
He still looks fresh. He still looks in great shape. He's still in the same weight class. Didn't take any damage.
Ladies and gentlemen,
He's got a lot of belts. I probably
47 seconds
wants to add a few more.
round number 2. Your winner via guillotine, Charles Boston Strong Rosa.
So there you have it. Round number 2, Charles Rosa gets the submission victory in his long-awaited homecoming. We're going to send it down to Pat Sullivan, who has our winner.
He's back.
Charles Rosa is back in the CES cage. When you called me a couple months ago and you said you were ready to come back here to CES, I knew that this moment was going to be special. You came up through CES before you went to the UFC. You've been all around the world. But right here, right now, how much love do you feel in this room from Rosa Nation?
Man, it's the best feeling in the world. Come back home, continue my unbeaten streak here in New England and Boston, and it's all because of you guys making it possible. Thank you so much to all my Boston fans, New England fans, all my fans all over the world. I love you guys. It wouldn't be the same without you.
Now, you talk about being from New England, especially being from Boston. I know how proud you are to be there. You live in Florida, but you've never left Boston.
Yeah, no, this is my spot. We went to school at Johnson, Wales. Training hard. I got my little brother Lucas Rosa, the king of monsters, the #1 amateur fighter in the world. He's next, coming up. Got to make his pro debut soon, so tune in for that. But, you know, first and foremost, just to take care of business, I want to thank my sponsors, Punch Me in the Face Podcast, Martinez Gym, 60-second survey, Crypto Coin, all you guys. Thank you so much. It wouldn't be possible without you guys. You guys make this experience so much better for me, give me the tools I need to win. And, yeah, I'm happy to be back.
Now, usually in moments like this, I'll ask the person on the other end of the mic what's next. But you know what? I don't care about what's right next. I care about what's right now. And you have so many people out here that want to celebrate with you. Go and enjoy this win. Congratulations. Charles Rosa is back, ladies and gentlemen.
And there's one more thing I wanted to guys. Hey, guys, quiet down for 1 second. It's really important. You know, Pat Sullivan has been helping me since I first started as a professional debut. Got my first win up here. I was 5-0. I'm in the CES Hall of Fame. The Birchfields have been a huge part of it. But one thing, Pat lost his mother, Joanne Sullivan, a while back, and that's why you guys see all the pink suit, the Joanne Sullivan Memorial Foundation. And I wanted to present my win money, my win bonus, as a check to donate to the charity. Thank you so much, Pat. And the last person I want to thank, the most important people, is my family. My sister Teresa, my mom. Come here, Mom. Are you my mom? My sister over here. My little brother Francis. Come here, Francis. Hold these belts for me. Put on your shoe. We'll get a picture with everyone. My dad, first and foremost, maybe the man I am today, the toughest man in the world right here. I love you, man. Thank you guys so much. Everybody that came out, showed up and showed out. Means it a lot. Lucas, get in here.
So there you have it. Charles Rosa again, the submission victory over Jonathan Garrett tonight, and announcing that he's going to donate his win bonus to the Joanne Sullivan Memorial Fund. Yeah, what more can you say? Just a class act.
Class act guy. Charles has always been like that. That doesn't shock me. He's a great dude, man.
Rose doing a great job closing the show in style. It's a very interesting night coming in, Greg. We talked about the big three, the big three CS alumni, right? You had Eric Spicely, you had Nate Andrews, and you had Charles Rosa. And I thought we might get 3 for 3 tonight.
And the Rosa fight went the longest.
And the Rosa fight went the longest out of all of them. And at the end of the day, Rosa is the only one getting the victory out of those three. You know, a tough break for both Eric Spicely and Nate Andrews, as we mentioned previously. Nate Andrews suffering what appeared to be a broken forearm.
Yeah.
Eric Spicely submitted, something you never thought you'd see happen.
Oh.
None of those things that I have in my bingo card tonight.
Didn't add up to me.
But what you did know you would see would be a great effort from Charles Rosa, and he just looked tremendous tonight.
Charles did a great job switching stances, boxing as a righty, throwing a lot of kicks as a lefty. It kind of seemed like it kind of messed up Gary's rhythm a little bit. He couldn't get into a rhythm. And then once that fight hit the ground, Charles did what he usually does. He locked up submissions. Almost had him in the first, but in the second he locked up that arm and guillotine, and it was beautiful stuff.
So there you have it. One more time, the QR code on your screen. Make sure you click and donate to the Joanne Sullivan Memorial Fund. It's a special night as we continue to raise awareness for breast cancer during Breast Cancer Awareness Month here in October. We thank Pat Sullivan for some very inspirational words tonight.
Absolutely. About
a great cause. And, of course, our celebrity chef tonight. You have an opportunity to win a dinner for 10. What's better than that? I'd like to have just a dinner for 1. I would.
2. I mean, geez, are you going to invite me?
So many great things happening tonight at CS 75. I want to thank everybody for joining us. us on Facebook Live. For Greg Rebello, I'm Mike Prenti. We will see you next time.
CES MMA 75, live from Foxwoods Resort Casino in Connecticut. We would like to thank the following businesses for their charitable donations to the Joanne Sullivan Memorial Fund, with all proceeds going to the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute for Cancer Research, Andino's Italian Restaurant, Blanchard's Farm, Bristol County Auto Exchange, Candeas Auto Repair Service, Female Fan Nation, M. Barboza and Son Roofing, Main Event Boxing, Medical Aesthetics of New England, and Phil Maxwell Auto Body.